Hi everyone. In today's lesson, we're going to go through how to condense logs. So if you haven't done so already, please log on to Delta Math and click on the assignment titled Algebra 2 Condensing Logs. Once you're there, go to the first problem. You'll see it's titled Do Now, Expanding Logs Part 2. So on Friday, we talked about expanding logs, and we're going to do a little bit of review of that first, and then we'll get into our condensing. So if you read this first example, it says find the numerical value of the log expression. So here's the log expression, and here are the values that they give you. So in order to find this numerical value, we're going to have to use some expanding. So let's just take a look at what we have. We have log of a to the third times b to the ninth over c squared. So we're clearly multiplying between the a to the third and the b to the ninth. So what we'll do first is expand that using addition. So remember, it's log of a to the third plus log of b to the ninth. And since we divide using PEMDAS, right, we would use the numerator would be taken care of first. You can go ahead and put this in a big set of parentheses. That just tells the person grading your paper that you know that that will be done first. Then we'll divide by that c squared. So remember, when we divide and it goes to expanded form, we use subtraction. So it would be log of c squared. And now we've got a whole bunch of powers. We have power here, here, and here. And remember, the other log rule that we talked about on Friday is that if we have an exponent, we have to drop it like it's hot. So we're going to take the powers, all three of them, and drop them. So my final answer here would be parenthesis 3 log of A plus 9 log of B. Don't forget to close the parenthesis. Then subtract 2 log of C. And this would be our answer here if they asked us to just expand, but they're asking us to find the numerical value. So if you notice here, they tell you that log of A is -7. So everywhere I see a log of A, I'm going to put -7. So I have 3, and then multiplied, right, by log of A, so 3 times -7, plus, now what do we have here? We have log of B is 6. So everywhere I see a log of B, which is here, I'm going to put 6. So times 9 times 6. And then don't forget your big parentheses. And then minus 2. And then they tell you that log of C is -7. So this log of C here will get -7. And it's all being multiplied. So now all you'll have to do to get your final answer is type this into the calculator just the way you see it with parentheses and everything. So why don't you do that now? Hit pause on the video and then hit resume when you're ready for the answer. Okay, so you should have gotten 47. And that is our numerical value for this log expression. So just to recap, what we had to do was we had to expand the log and then substitute our values. All right, let's try another one. So if you move on to example number 1 now, I believe that's titled in your Delta Math as example number 1. Let's try another one. Same kind of concept, they want the numerical value. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to have to expand the log. But what you're going to notice with this problem is that I have a radical. So remember that anything under a radical, so say we have a square root, we can take whatever's in there and raise it to the 1/2 power. If I have a cube root, it's the same thing as raising anything to the 1/3 power. If I have a fourth root, it's the same thing as raising it to the 1/4 power. So since I have all of this stuff under the cube root, I can go ahead and say, well, I can take all of it, a to the 7th, b to the 7th, and raise it to the 1/3 power. Now before I put the log in front, I actually want to simplify this expression by distributing the power. And remember, when we raise a power to a power, we multiply. So we multiply 7 times 1/3, and we get 7/3. So a to the 7/3, b to the 7/3, all over c to the third. And I want to take the log of this. So this is the expression now that I want to simplify. So similar to what I have before, we're multiplying these two together. So when I expand it, we're going to use addition. So we have log of a to the 7/3 plus log of b to the 7/3. And then now I'm dividing, so I use subtraction, by log of c to the 3rd. Now again, use parentheses to show the reader that's grading your paper that you know the multiplication should be done first. And then don't forget to take your powers like we did before and drop them. So this power gets dropped in front, this power gets dropped in front, and then that one. So our final answer should be 7/3 log of A plus 7/3 log of B, and then minus 3 log of C. And again, don't forget to bring down your parentheses. And now just substitute the values. So we have log of A is 12. So for log of A, you're going to put 12. For log of B, you're going to put -15. And for log of C, you're going to put 2. Always substitute using parentheses. And don't forget to use your original parentheses here in blue and keep those there. So we have 7/3 times log of A, which is 12, plus 7/3 times log of B, which is -15, and log of C is 2. So again, let the calculator do the work. Go ahead and type this into the calculator just the way you see it, and then hit resume when you're ready for the answer. Okay, so your final answer should be -13. All right, go ahead and type that into the Delta Math, and that should give you a correct answer. All right, let's move on to example number 2. So for example number 2, it's very similar to our first in that we are finding the numerical value. So first thing, we have a square root on the denominator. So we're going to rewrite this as a to the 3rd b, this whole thing to the 1/2 power. And then before we can expand the log, we should simplify this. So we're going to distribute that power in. So we have a to the 3/2, b to the 1/2, right? We're multiplying 3 times 1/2, that gives me 3/2. 1 times 1/2 gives me 1/2. And these are being multiplied together, and the top is c to the 9th. So we want to take this and we want to expand it with the log in front. So similar to what we had before, that now we have a multiplication, but it's on the bottom. So we would do this first. So that's where the big parentheses would go. So the first part is log of c to the 9th. Now we're dividing, so we have to use a subtraction, but we're dividing a product. So we're going to have to put the entire product in parentheses, just like we did before. So this would be log of a to the 3/2 plus, because I'm multiplying between the terms, log of b to the 1/2. And now what we can do is we can take our powers and we can drop them. So the 9 is getting dropped, 3/2 is getting dropped, and the 1/2. So we've got 9 log of c minus 3/2 log of a plus 1/2 log of b. And again, don't forget that other set of parentheses, because if you don't, unfortunately, you'll get it wrong. So let's go ahead and plug in what we know. We know log of A is 6, so that's going to go here. Log of B is 4, that's going to go here. And log of C is -6, and that will go in the front. So 9 times -6 minus 3/2 times 6 plus 1/2 times 4. Again, not forgetting to bring these parentheses down. So go ahead, plug this into the calculator just the way you see it. Pause the video and hit resume when you're ready for the answer. Okay, so for this one, you should have gotten -65. Go ahead, type that into your Delta Math, and that should give you the correct answer. All right, that's it for the harder expanding problems. Now I'd like to do the next example, which is condensing. So condensing is actually easier if you've already done the expansion. So what you want to do is condense this expression into one single log. So if you notice, we have a subtraction sign. So we know subtraction must mean it came from division. Notice this power was dropped. It probably came from an exponent. So really we have log of a to the g power minus log of d. So we know that minus comes from division, so it would be a to the g over d into one single log. So we're just working backwards. Notice with the delta math, they've already put the single log there for you, just as I have here. So you only need to put the stuff inside the parentheses. So a to the g divided by d is what should go in there. Go ahead and type that in, and then hit resume when you're ready to continue. Okay, last and final one, condensing. Similar to the one we did before, except we have addition. Addition means it came from multiplication. The g has been dropped, so we got to bring it back. It was an exponent, so we have log of a plus log of b to the g power. So since we have addition, this condenses to one single log of a times b to the g. You don't have to put that multiplication dot in, so you just can put in a times b to the g, and that's your final answer. Again, notice they always have the log written for you, so you've condensed it. You don't need to rewrite that part. So go ahead and type that into the Delta Math, and that's it for the lesson for today. Please make sure you're finishing this Delta Math for the remainder of the period. All right, have a great day, everybody.